Hello and welcome to LAKERLAND, where you hear some thoughts from some Laker fans. I am Christian, and alongside of me is my left-hand man, Matt. How's it going, man? We got it.
What's
We got
good?
a
We up early with
yeah. We got an earlier show today. Early for us, man. It's 12:30. But we got an earlier show today. I got to get going to work soon, which is the reason I'm not in any Adidas gear, any Lakers gear. So yeah, it's a little change of pace. But man, a lot of news been coming out, and I'm not gonna say I'm not. It's not like off-season news, but it's big extension talks. It's big AD re-signing talks, and then there's a few things happening along the other side of the Western Conference. So I want to talk about it all today. I want to talk about it all right now, and I want to get right into it with the biggest news that has dropped in the. I don't know. There's been a few big news dropping. So let's just talk about the biggest news dropping in the Lakerland world, and it is LeBron James has signed a 2-year extension with the Los Angeles Lakers, so he will be a Laker until he is a whopping 39 years old, man. How are we feeling about LeBron James being maybe retiring as a Laker, maybe not, which I'll get into in a little bit, but how you feeling?
if you don't retire as a Laker, bro, I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna feel away because it's like, bro, come on, son, what are you doing? Like, you know what I'm saying? LA is your home now. I think he understands that with the extension. Like, um, I'm saying what I'm seeing is he's looking to end his legacy in LA and really cement his greatness and possibly maybe get a jersey up there in the rafters, man. That's what it's looking like to me. And I mean, if he stays on the path that he's on right now, gets us a couple more rings, I could definitely see that possibility. And I mean, having that stain in the Lakers organization, your value as just a basketball player goes up. If he wants to chase that Jordan level, you know what I'm saying? If you have that jersey in the Lakers rafters, bro, I don't really see the argument at this point. So
Yeah, I mean, it's the simple, obvious point that if you go through the top 10 of all time NBA players, now including LeBron James, out of that 10, I would say probably about 7 or 8 of them threw on a Lakers jersey at some point in their career. So LeBron James, I feel like is definitely, regardless, after signing this deal, he's a solidified Laker. After you won a chip, you're a solidified Laker, and you might as well have your jersey in the Raptors because we cherish chips. If you come here and just and it's I'm a Los Angeles Laker, and you don't get us to the promised land, you're not up there in the Laker regard where we hold everybody else. So I'm super glad to have LeBron James as a Laker for ultimately the last laps of his career. Um, I'm excited to see, bro. It sounds crazy. I'm not going to lie to you. LeBron James is going to be 39 in a few years. Like, where
yeah,
has
I
the
mean,
time went, bro?
it don't even seem that crazy, bro. Just because he's still LeBron, like, and it's like his play style now is like more fitting to his age because like he's not jumping out the gym too crazy, but you know what I'm saying? He's more like guard focused and pass focused and like he's leading the league in assists now and all that type of stuff. So like I mean I could see him aging pretty gracefully in the league and he clearly don't see it too much of a problem with it. I see another like him signing like another 1 year after that, to be honest.
Yeah, and that definitely can be a real thing come when that time goes. And maybe it's, maybe it's Lakers paying him gracefully for, let's say at that time, he won us 2 championships, whatever the case may be. So you know what? Stay another year. We'll throw you 30 million just because you're LeBron James and you gave us rings. You know what I mean? We're not gonna give you freaking a $10 million contract. Like we're not do that. They didn't do that for Kobe. You know what I mean? Kobe was on his last legs literally, and they were like, "Yo, you're getting paid damn near 40 million, and we got no problem with that."
Nah, facts. I
But
mean they treat their stars good and that's why people like to go to LA.
it's a big reason. I mean, we definitely seen players not get treated well in other organizations. But in general, I think you touched on a point that I feel like I touched on a little bit prior, but I never really got to dive deep. I feel like LeBron is already transitioning into his, all right, this is my new play style phase. We always knew LeBron to be, that point forward, but he can really just run a point guard role in his latter half of the year where he doesn't need that athleticism. He doesn't need that quick step and all that. We see what CP3 is doing at an older age, and he's still effective. He's still super important to not only winning teams, but he's getting these teams to the playoffs. He's about to do it again to the Suns this year. I'm 100% confident that he'll get their asses in the playoffs, and we're seeing that done with an older CP3. And he was a guy who didn't have the luxury of ever. Obviously, he's athletic, but he never jumping out the gym or anything like that by any means. But LeBron James can easily just go into a mean point guard role, and he can be a 39-year-old who averages 18 and 12 and 7 rebounds. And I'm like, okay, well,
Legit.
that's what Ben Simmons is doing now, and you're giving him max money for.
Right.
So I'm super excited to keep Bron. The reason I say he might not be a retired Los Angeles Laker, and I want your take on this, it just so happens to line up where, and I don't know if you saw this or not, but at the time of the end of his contract, if NBA approves the whole they can these younger players can come from high school to the league, he can so happen to it lines up with Bronny going from high school to the league if he's good enough and, barring no injuries and things of that nature. So maybe, his last year, his last little tour de course, he's going and he's with his son, Bronny Jr., whatever is LeBron James Jr., and that's how he ends his last year. What do you think about that possibility?
I don't really think he cares too much about where Bronny plays. I think he just wants to be in the league at the same time as him, for real.
I don't know if I agree with that. I think he might want
to. He said if I could play with him or against him in the league, then that's like, you know what I'm saying? And that's kind of his goal.
I could definitely see him. You know how LeBron is. I could definitely see him wanting to get that his last year of his career alongside of Bronny. But the funny thing is, bro, and this is where I really want to turn it into some comedy. Imagine, you're finally done with high school. You're about to go to the NBA, right? The league, the A. Away from your father, who, you know what? Your father is LeBron James. I'm chilling regardless. But away from your father, now you get that nice little freedom. You didn't go to college, essentially, in this world. So this is your first year just like to live, really. The first year of freedom. And then all of a sudden, you can't bring no bitches to the hotel because you got LeBron. You got LeBron in the room. You can't meet with nobody after the games because LeBron is going to be like, bro, what you doing? You got to hit up the gym. You got to do another workout. Like, I'll be sick.
Yeah, I don't really see that happening, bro. If anything, they're going to have talks about it, and Bronny's going to tell them, like, listen, old man, stay ass in LA. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to do my own thing. This is going to be my college experience. And, you know what I'm saying? When I see you, I'm going to bust you up. That's all it is.
I'll be tight, bro. Little Bronny hitting up Miami for the first time alone. And all of a sudden, you got LeBron James coming up the tour bus like, all right, what we getting into? Yeah, all right. Bron's going to be like, you want me to show you the spots that I used to be at with Wade and your Uncle Bosh? Like, we ain't doing that, bro.
Yeah, it's not going to be like that. I already know. Bron going to retire, like, I feel it.
I hope so, man. I really do. It's crazy to see the whole full circle. But what's crazier is not only do we got Bron till 2023, I believe, we got this one guy. I don't know if you heard of him. Anthony Davis. I don't know if that's a name that sticks out to you, but he just signed a 5-year deal of 4+1 with the greatest franchise of all time, the Los Angeles Lakers.
You know what I'm saying? I just feel like this type of stuff just speaks a lot to the organization because we could be like the Knicks and, you know what I'm saying, big market, got a couple stars, and they just hate it the first year. They just hate the experience. This just shows that the chemistry, the culture over there, it just fits well with these big stars. Like, they feel comfortable enough, even with all the pressure and all the lights on them, to stay long-term. Like, a 5-year contract is a big deal. So, I mean, we got him locked in, man. And that makes me feel like LeBron is definitely looking to finish his career there, too, because I know they want to stay together. I know they do.
What I like most about this, bro, is I just get flashbacks sometimes. You know, a few years ago, we shot for every free agent, literally from highs to lows. There was years where we were like, yeah, we're going to get DeMar DeRozan. I don't know if you remember that talks, but DeMar DeRozan was like a big we wanted him because, bro, at the end of the day, we had no other options. Mm-hmm. And then we had to settle sometimes, Timothy Mozgov, all day.
George.
And then, maybe we trade for Paul George. Oh, we didn't trade for him. Okay, we'll get him next year in free agency. He stays with the Thunder. Oh, we could trade for Kawhi Leonard. We'll get him in free agency. He does this. And it's like, damn it, man. Every time we try to get somebody, we're falling short. This go-round, under a new regime, shout out to Robert Pelinka. Thank you. Because under this new regime, we secured Bron. Not only do we get him for, the initial, I don't know if he signed for 3 or 4 years initially. We got Bron and then secured him for some more years. Already got the chip, by the way. Landed AD in a trade. Then we secured him for a long amount of time. And not only that, bro, what's the most fascinating thing for me in this thing is not only is AD secured, but his deal, if you want to compare it to some other stars, I mean, it's not the biggest.
It's not. There's wiggle room.
There's a lot of wiggle room. And sure, I'm going to love having AD regardless. I don't care if AD was getting paid $300 million for 5 years. I was not going to complain about the contract regardless because AD has all the potential to be – he's only 27. 2 more years, 1 more year, he's going to enter his prime. Jared Dudley in not media day, but whatever, the first time you get to talk to the press since, signing, he said that he expects Anthony Davis to go for MVP this year. Last year, he said that he expects Anthony Davis to go for Defensive Player of the Year, and he was my Defensive Player of the Year last year. So I expect Anthony Davis to play on that type of level this year. And to secure that is always awesome. But if you look at his contract, man, he's getting paid, I think, $34 million this coming year. Mm-hmm. I love Dame. Dame's my favorite player in the league. He's getting paid $43 million this year. Towards the tail end of it.
Yeah, but he don't got LeBron.
What happened?
He don't got LeBron on his team.
I know, but I'm just saying if you're comparing it, if you're comparing it to other figures, tail end of Damian Lillard's contract, he's going to be making $50 million. Tail end of Anthony Davis, he's making $40 million. And what I want Anthony Davis to get his bread, and he's going to get his bread regardless. He's on every.
You don't think that's going to balance itself out with championship, like championship pedigree and goals, and after you win all these championships?
Oh no, I'm saying it's for sure worth it. That's not what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to say
though, championships equates to bread. It's just not as direct as your salary. You know what I'm saying? You're still going to make up for that $10 million that these other guys is getting above you. You know what I'm saying? Anthony
Davis is going to make up for that in endorsements alone.
Exactly.
So that's the perk of being a Los Angeles Laker. You're not in, Portland. I love Dame, but I wouldn't want to live in Portland. I'm sorry. But no, what I'm saying is, as an organization, we have more room to play around with now. Because we got him locked in at a lower rate than a lot of these other players. And once the salary cap, for the most part, goes up every year, it didn't go up this year for the obvious reasons of COVID. But, when salary cap goes up, let's say in 4 years or 3 years, and it goes up from 120 to 135, and now all of a sudden our star player is only making about 30% of that payroll. LeBron's making another 30% of that payroll. We have another 40% to play around with. And that's when it could get interesting because everybody's saying that, now we're out of the option for a third star. May be true. It may not be. We'll see how salary cap changes.
We don't need no third star, man.
Now we don't, but when LeBron is 39, you don't think so?
No, because he's still LeBron. He's still going to do what we need LeBron to do. And then we still have Anthony Davis probably in his prime years. And as long as we have the pieces around that fit, we clearly see that works for us. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's really my next question, man. Obviously, we haven't seen how this year played out. On paper, the team is beautiful. It's one of the strongest. It arguably on paper could be one of the strongest Laker teams of all time. It could be, man.
Top 5 for sure. But
and that's one of. If you ask me on paper, this team is way stronger than the Kobe 08, 09, 2010 teams.
I guess on paper when you look into bench depth and all that, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, off the fact that I love Pau Gasol, but Pau Gasol was never Anthony Davis MVP level player. So off of that strength alone, this is one of our best teams we already had. How would you feel about, instead of, shooting for that other star, which it seems like you're not even on the fence for in general, we keep this type of squad for the long run. When Dennis Schroeder's contract is up, we re-sign him. Montrez, re-sign him. Possibly extend Kuzma, things of that nature. How are you feeling about keeping the squad a little more long term?
Well, that's ideal for me because I feel like the pieces that we have right now, they're stars in their own right. You know what I'm saying? They might not be max contract players, but they're stars in their role. You know what I'm saying? And I hate the term role players, but that's why I'm saying they're stars in their role. Because Dennis Schroeder, I mean, come on now. Montrezl Harrell, you know what I'm saying? He gets after it. You know, if you keep on to these guys, like any team would be willing to pay these guys big bread. You know what I'm saying? A lot of teams would be willing to pay these guys close to, especially if they perform and they get championships with us. You seen how like the Warriors, they got Harrison Barnes a max contract just off the strength of being a starter on the Warriors. You know what I'm saying? And he isn't really. Does he deserve a max contract? Is he a max contract player? Not really. I don't think so. But just having them along with that ride and being a part of a championship team increases their value. And I mean, 1 year with the Lakers is going to make you 10 times better. So, I mean, I would love to keep these guys long term, for real, for real.
Yeah, I don't hate the idea at all. Plus, I do think, over the course of these next few years, you know what I mean, we're going to be locked up in salary. And that's fine in my opinion because I just seen Rob Pelinka with no salary to spend go out and get two, I'm not going to say all-stars, but two very, very good players. Six Man of the Year award nominees. Like, yeah, like this is – if Dennis Schroeder was on the free agent list and he wasn't on a team, and Montrez, who was a free agent, they would have been two of the top five, like, key free agents.
For sure.
And Rob Pelinka got them for – I'm not going to say free, but he did it with his hands cuffed. And it was like cake to him. No assets to trade. This season isn't even going to mention the fact that, in the future, as much as we gave up picks and whatnot, we have 3 first-round picks in the next 5 years. The Lakers scouting department is amazing, in my opinion. Josh Hart, Kyle Kuzma, Jordan Clarkson, just to name a few, Larry Nance, Ivica Zubac. These are 5 players that were drafted very, very low that all went on to get big contracts. I mean, Kuzma, we'll see about that, but I assume he's going to get a big contract. These are 5 players under 28 and 27 and below, and they went on to get big contracts. These are what I would call assets. Lakers have the chance to do the same thing in the next 5 years, tag them along with whatever we got, the Danny Greens, the ancillary pieces that just maybe didn't work out or, are expendable. And we can go ahead and shoot for another Dennis Schroeder, or maybe we max him with a Kyle Kuzma, who at that point is an extended contract or a sign and trade or whatever the case may be, and we can trade for that third star. It's more than possible. I'm not tripping about it right now, but I've seen what Rob Pelinka has done already. So my faith for him in the next few years, I'm off rip. I'm expecting the right decisions because he showed me he's a man that makes the right decisions.
Nah, for sure. I'm not too sold on the whole 3-star thing too much because I don't want to compromise the full roster. You know what I'm saying?
I'm more so talking when LeBron is on his last lap.
Yeah, I understand that completely. Just for when LeBron is out the way and we need that second star ready to go pretty much like the next season. Like I understand that. I would love to have a guy like Bradley be on board for that, but
that's
ideally, but we'll see.
When LeBron is 38, Bradley Beal's a free agent. I would love, Bron playing point, Bradley Beal being our 2 or 3, whatever he wants to play at that point. I mean, positions don't even matter. And then Anthony, you know what I mean? Like Bron just has that 8. I'm cool. I can only score 18 a game. Y'all don't need anything more from me. I can score 15 if y'all want.
15 a game. For
we got a 25-point player over here, 28-point player over here. So-and-so coming off the bench about to light you up. You know what I mean? Young bull over here that we got late in the first round going to really show his value. Like, oh, man, it's just – it feels so good being excited about the Lakers' future, knowing we actually have one.
Mm-hmm.
Like, before I was like, yo, Jordan Clarkson's going to be a problem. Like, that was our future. Now I'm like, oh, man, yeah, I don't know. Should we – is Bron and AD good enough? Should we shoot for Bradley Beal? Like, this is really just is fire, man.
That's fire. It definitely sounds great, and I believe in Rob, so it definitely is exciting.
Absolutely, absolutely. So while we're on this conversation of talking, man, I want to talk about a few comments that were made during media day, two particularly. Not media day. Well, I keep calling it that because I'm so used to it. But so the first comment is along the same lines of this discussion, and Kyle Kuzma said he has been in talks with the Lakers organization for an extension. They asked him like, "Hey, what's the status of it?" And he's like, "We've had conversations." Um, how do you feel about extending Kuz? You know, before going into this year, how would you feel about extending Kuz?
Before going into this year, no. He hasn't proved enough to me yet. You know what I'm saying? You have to show something because I feel like he keeps getting saved. And I feel like if you keep getting this guy comfortable, then, you know what I'm saying, nothing's really going to improve because I feel like he thinks he's safe. And I feel like this year is probably the first year in the offseason when he probably felt like he wasn't that safe because, you know, he's getting shopped around or whatever. Before we got Anthony Davis and we were shopping our young guys, they made it clear that Kyle Kuzma is off limits. And I think that probably gassed up his head a little bit, right? And got him a little comfortable. But no, extension right now, I'm not seeing it. When you sign an extension, you can still get traded. So, I guess I see it. Lock him in for the future. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, it makes sense. It makes sense.
So there's two different points on the. There's two different points to be made here, really. You said it. If you extend him now, you're a trade asset for a longer time. And not only that, when a team wants to trade for you, they're like, oh, instead of getting Kuzma for the rest of the year, we got Kuzma for 3 more years. Mm-hmm. So it gives them a little bit more comfort room because, you know, I mean, if he gets traded to Oklahoma City's probably like, yo, this dude is not going to want to re-sign here. Like, there is nothing but land and cows. And, like, it's not going to be good for him. It doesn't fit his setting. Sorry, Winnie. But, yeah, in general, there's that end to look at. And also, I don't know what it is for him. I don't know if it changes, but I know for Giannis, I believe they got to extend him before December 15th, which is obviously before the season starts. I don't know if it's the same with Kuz because one's a rookie deal, one's a different type of deal, so it might be. So if we want to extend him, it might have to be before the season even starts to begin with. But anyways, another way to look at it is if he plays great, right? And he shows us he's really that third player, or in this case, we got a lot of good talent, fourth player, fifth player, but he's locked in. What if we didn't extend him and now his worth goes up come that free agency? Mm-hmm. And now we have the Kings throwing him a 4-year, $80 million deal when we could have locked him for a 3-year, $55 million deal or something along the lines of that. Right. So there's that to look at as well. I'm not the biggest Kuzma guy right now, but at the same time, I'm rooting for the kid. I'm hoping he shows me something. But I am at the point where he is 25 years old already. He's almost as old as AD if you want to really look at it like that. I don't see there to be much growth left for him. He got about 2 years to reach his prime, and he would have had to show me a little more than what he had, at least in this team.
Hey, man, Brandon Ingram changed his whole status within a year. So
Brandon Ingram's 22.
He's what?
22.
He's 22 years old.
Yes.
Brandon Ingram.
Yes. He's about our age, bro.
But still, like, he changed his whole stats within a year, and he became an all-star. So I believe Kuz, you know what I'm saying, he can step it up within a year. Like, he has the potential to do everything. It's just all up to him to figure it out and put the work in. But it would make sense for us to lock him in right now. Extension is definitely an idea for the Lakers. It's really up to him too. If he feels like my worth is higher than this extension, and I want to see the field after this year, then you know that's up to him. But it's also up to his performance too, because if he underperforms, then the market is going to be real quiet for him.
Yeah, and I definitely think he might be looking at it that way too. Like, damn it, man. Yeah, we want a chip, sure. I ain't contribute to none of that.
Yeah.
You mentioned Harrison Barnes getting that big extension. Harrison Barnes, not for nothing, in that Warriors role, he contributed.
Yeah.
Every time it was an open three, he knocked it down. Defensively, he was there. So, and have you heard of Harrison Barnes since? No. Is Harrison Barnes going to get a deal like that? No. But he did because he contributed to a championship-winning team. So, all it takes is Kuzma to contribute to a championship-winning team, and you go up.
Right.
We just saw with Rondo, Dwight, all these players, your stock goes up. But yeah, so I'm on the fence of, I think at this point, if you would have asked me a few days ago, I probably would have looked at it a little differently. But now that we locked AD and Bron up for long term, we're not going to have money to spend anyways. You might as well lock this guy up for whatever, a decent deal. Don't get me wrong. I don't want to give him $25 million a year. He won't be worth that. But I lock him up. We're not going to have no cap to spend anyways. And worst case scenario, he's that asset you need to get a trade.
Yeah.
Because we could have traded Kuzma a while ago, but the problem is his contract was $3 million. Team wanted Kuzma, but we would have had to package like a list of players just to get the contracts to match. Get his contract in a realm where we can match it if the time does come and we want to separate ourselves from him. And we're straight. That's how I see it. But the other comment I want to get into from Media Day, or I keep saying it, whatever the case is, Markieff Morris, man, my guy Keith, he said an interesting comment that as soon as I heard it, it popped out, and I haven't heard nobody talking about it. I'm not going to have it word for word, but just from my memory bank, they asked him, like, how serious were the talks with the Los Angeles Clippers? And he literally said that the talks weren't really ever like that. It was always just there to make it seem like to scare off Lakers and Laker fans. Do you I know we see a battle with the Clippers every day, and whether it's people we're trying to get through buyout market or free agency, or I want this guy. No, I'm going to trade for this guy. Like, we're battling for them back and forth. I could definitely see, Clippers camp trying to definitely leak some information, get out some false information to kind of derail the Lakers from, like, maybe we shouldn't go for Markieff. He's clearly having talks with the Clippers.
Bro, they're wax sauce, bro. They're wax sauce. And those tactics do not work because Rob is a vet at this point. He knows what he's doing, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not going to shake nobody because at this point, we're a championship team and we're not worried about what the Clippers are doing, to be honest. Maybe last year, not this year. We don't care about no Clippers right now. That's not our focus. We're not looking for what the Clippers are doing either. Like, they're worried about us. That says a lot about them.
They always been, man, from the get, truthfully.
I mean, if you look next door and you see a whole bunch of gold over there, you're like, Jesus Christ. You know what I'm saying? I understand where they coming from, but hey.
Yeah, it's like a neighbor with a really nice car, and you don't really know. Like, you're like, yo, what the hell do they do for a living again? Like,
Yeah, for real, for real. And then now you calling the feds to, you know what I'm saying? I think there's some drug dealers next door and whatever. You know what I'm saying? They those type of neighbors, bro.
That's funny, but as to quote Future, bro, it's crazy, but it's true.
But it's true. Yes,
Yeah. So speaking of the Clippers, man, it's about that time, man. The preseason schedule dropped. We're facing the Clippers some absurd amount of times, like 3 times, which I hate that it's happening. But I get it. They don't want us to travel too far. You know what I mean? We don't got to move nowhere if it's in Los Angeles. So I get that idea. But we're not moving anywhere either because come opening day, on ring night, nevertheless, you know what I mean? When we get a few rings, there's a certain team going to be in the building, and that's going to be the Clippers. The Clippers are going to watch us get our rings. That sounds beautiful. I'm not going to lie. But we face them as the first matchup of the year. How we feeling?
It's gonna be jokes because Montrez is gonna be seeing us get our rings too. But I mean, if you wanna be like us with this jewelry, you know what I'm saying? Just slide. That's all it is. Just slide. That's all we do it right over here. You know what I'm saying? And I know it's gonna get under their skin a little bit. Kawhi not gonna really be phased. I feel like nothing really phases Kawhi. He already got chips, so you know what I'm saying? But the Clippers organization as a whole, I know they're just salty, bro, because their players are gonna look at that first game, bro, and they're gonna be like, yeah, that's what I want. You know what I'm saying? That attention right there, that feeling right there, getting the jewelry on you, that's what I want. And then once the players start thinking like that, bro, you do not got them locked in at all. You don't, bro. The whole thing is gonna be blown up from day one, bro. The chemistry gonna be gone. It's gonna be breaking their spirit, their heart. It's wrap. The whole season is done, bro. I'm telling you, from day one.
Yeah, I feel like the funniest part of it all, bro, is the press conferences after.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. They're gonna be like, yeah, so you guys were heavy favorites in the league last year. How does it feel seeing what was regarded as your biggest rival get their championships right in front of your eyes?
Yep.
You're gonna have Paul George be like, that was a bad shot. I don't know what you want me to say. You can't tell me nothing. That was a bad shot. That was good defense. It was a bad shot. I don't know what to. It's gonna be great, man. Paul George. I love him in the media because he always just seems to say the wrong things. It's awesome.
Yes, it's beautiful.
Did you see the clip of the All the Smoke podcast with Paul George?
Saying what?
It was so it hasn't dropped yet. They only dropped the trailer, at least from last time I checked. And they asked him, they're like, "Yo, like what happened? How'd you guys fold under a 3-1 lead?" And he blamed it on everything except the fact that he played like ass.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see it?
Nah.
Oh man, you gotta. Once we offer this, you gotta watch it. He basically was like, "Well, first things first. We thought we were gonna win the whole time, so we were up 3-1, and then they won a game. We're like, all right, it's cool. We're up 3-2. We're fine. And then they won another game, and we're like, all right, we'll win game 7. And then the first thing he said was like, but we didn't make any adjustments from all those games. We didn't make any adjustments, so he started throwing on blame on Doc.
Adjustment is you get a bucket, you play better. That's the adjustment. PG 13%. The hell? Hitting the side of the backboard is not. You know what I'm saying? That's your adjustment.
So then the comment after that, he was like, and then on top of that, Doc had me running off of pin down screens and off ball handling. And he was like, I could do that, but that's not what I want to do. Like that's not my type of play style. Blah blah. And then the little video I had, he did that comment, and then he shot it and hit the side of the backboard. Because bro, that's not an adjustment. Like you said, that's a play that you're open, bro. It's an open shot.
You need to recalibrate your John, bro. That's all I'm saying. Recalibrate.
So, once again, PG deflecting all blame. You know what I mean? That's a bad shot. Or I'm not a pin down screen type of player. And then they pulled up the stats, and every time he ran a pick and roll, he was like the worst player on the team. So, it's looking bad for PG, man. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, he's on his Wash King tour now. So, let's see how that goes.
Yeah, he said this is – another comment that I like that he said is
with the NBA 2K rating or whatever.
What he had a bad rating?
I think it dropped a little bit, so I think he wants to get back to like 90 or something like that.
Oh wow!
So he's on like his 2K tour.
His 2K tour is jokes, man. Trae Young being rated higher than him is coming. I'm just gonna say, but no, man. So he also said the comment. He was like, I didn't get to have an off season because I was rehabbing, blah blah blah. And in my head, he said, yeah, this year's gonna be different. And I was like, is it though? Like you guys had like 2 months to off season. Training camp is like a total of 10 days, something crazy. And he was like, yeah, it's super important. We have a good training camp, blah, blah. And I'm like, bro, your training camp is 10 days. You guys had no chemistry last year. You're not going to just rebuild this automatically this year. I can't wait. I can't wait to see him opening night. At the end of the day, I don't care about any of these regular season games against the Clippers anymore. Mm-hmm. I've seen what we did in the playoffs. Until they come do their job and meet us there, you are not a threat to me.
Yeah, I mean, we might meet them this year just because the West got a little worse. So, I mean, either way, they didn't get that much better either. So, we got 10 times better. So, I can't wait, bro.
It's going to be fun. And then Christmas Day, man, to top it off. I don't know how you feel about this one. I wasn't the most excited for it, but I get it now that I'm looking back at it. But,
yeah, I get it now.
Christmas Day.
And I'm warmed up to the idea now.
Yeah, so to let the cat out of the bag, we are playing the Dallas Mavericks. No Kristaps Porzingis to my knowledge. I'm pretty sure he's still hurt. So honestly, it's looking like a dub for us, but I get what the NBA is trying to do. They're trying to do the new face of the league versus the old face of the league. Luka versus LeBron James. And don't get me wrong, I love seeing Luka play too, but you could have had them face like the Clippers or something.
Yeah, I
Little
mean,
better.
it's whatever, bro. I'm watching all them games anyway.
Yeah, right. That's what me and you texted. I was
Yeah,
like, bro, they really were super excited to get back to the league to do this. And then I shot you another text right after, and I was like, I'll be watching all day though.
all day, bro. Don't matter. Popcorn, all that.
What I do like is they always had a 10:30 slot it was always like legit almost every year, like Nuggets and Jazz and like Nuggets and Blazers or Jazz and Blazers. Like
10:30? Nah, it usually is one of the California teams, Lakers or Warriors.
not for the 10:30, for the 8 o'clock, because that's prime time. 10:30 they always have one of the other West Coast teams that like it kind of fell not they were great teams, you know, deserved the Christmas Day, but they really didn't like they weren't big marketing
Yeah,
teams. I love it that this year they just got the Nuggets and Clippers. They're just like, oh yeah, that's the go to sleep for that one. It's okay.
go to sleep for that one. Facts. Fall asleep to that jump by halftime.
It would be super just comforting if Clippers had to lead the whole time and blew it though. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh my God, that would be beautiful.
Imagine that Clippers start 0-2, Lakers start 2-0, and it's just gonna be like everything regulates itself. The
The
world's
story,
back
yeah,
in
the
order.
story writes itself, bro.
But man, I'm super excited. Some of the other matchups, I would have to look them up off the top of my head. I know we got the what is it, Bucks and Heat, I believe, and then Warriors and Nets. So we see KD going back to, or I don't know if it's back to, I would assume back to Golden State. But let me pull up some of the matchups, see what we got, see who you got winning. Give me a second to find out. Then after that, I want to cover the new jerseys we just released. All right, got it right here. So it's actually Pelicans at Heat. These
That's
games are
gonna be good.
terrible. These games
Oh,
are
that's actually type good. Like people want to see Zion play and all that. So
yeah, I guess. I mean, I want to see Zion play too, but against the Heat, like I feel like Pelicans and Mavs would have been cool. You know, Zion
they're the
against
runner-up
Luka.
champions.
I know, but like that's what I'm saying. I think Pelicans versus Mavs would have been cool because it's like the two new young teams, Zion versus Luka.
Yeah, that would have been cool.
And then like a Heat and Bucks would have been dope or something like that. But anyways, we got Warriors at Bucks, which I don't know. I don't know how I really feel about that. It's a cool game, I guess. Nets at Celtics, which is gonna be that should be a fun one. We get to see Kyrie coming back to Boston. KD making his debut. That's gonna be an interesting one. Is Celtics without Gordon Hayward, even though they barely had him to begin with. Then we got Mavs at Lakers, Clippers at Nuggets. So some interesting games. I'm looking forward to that Lakers Mavs game just because I want to see Lakers put a whooping, and probably that Nets Celtics game, really.
Yeah, nah, for real. I want to see Curry come back too and do some. I mean, I'm gonna be tuning into all these games. It's gonna be fun to watch all of them regardless. So
I know you're excited to see your boy James Wiseman, right?
no comment.
No comment. All right, so real quick, I want to see if I could get you commenting on something else right now. Let me make sure my sharing screen works. All right. All right, so this is what we're going to do. Let me know what you think. I don't know if you've seen them yet, but if you haven't, you do now.
I see.
Come on, man. What we looking like?
I see, man. Like, I mean, it's only right. I know there was talks about getting this jersey social media last year, so I'm glad that they actually got that done and listened to the fans because I'm not gonna hold you, Shaq. We love you, but that city jersey design was not it last year. Sorry.
Bro, these are cold, and I know you see Kobe right over here wearing it too. These are going to look fire on Bron. These are going to look fire on AD. I can't wait, bro. I might have to cop me one of these.
Nah, for real. Nah, mandatory. I'm gonna have to.
I might have to cop me one of these for sure.
I'm gonna need me one of those, and I'm gonna need me a Mamba jersey.
They better keep the Mamba jersey. I would expect them to. That at this point, that jersey might have to just stay in the tuck at all times.
Have to.
Because that's one of the coolest jerseys we got in general.
Yeah.
But yeah, super excited to see those. I hope maybe we wear those on like a Christmas Day type of thing. That would be super dope. And like you said, it's icy. You know what I mean? It's cold. It kind of fits that Christmas theme. So I'm more than with that. Before we get off, man, I want to talk about some news around the league, and it's really regarding two teams, regarding a few players. The Houston Rockets finally got rid of Russell Westbrook, and he is off to the Washington Wizards in a trade that sent John Wall and the 2023 pick to the Rockets. How are you feeling?
It seems super tough for Westbrook, but I mean that's what he wanted. He wanted out, so I don't know if he wanted to go to Washington or not. I don't know if he cares, but I mean he got what he wanted. It's kind of tough for James Harden though, because he might have to stay, and I know he wanted out too. And it looks like Houston is ready to get uncomfortable with that situation. So, but I mean, hey, I mean he might like playing with John Wall, but my thing is I don't think he cares about who he plays with. I think he just wants out of Houston. And I mean, James Harden to me, he just seems like he's that interesting space. You know what I'm saying? He's over here dropping bags on Lil Baby. He bought him a Prada bag and like a watch or something like that.
Was
Like,
that his birthday gift?
yeah.
Oh wow, okay, that's a good friend, man. That's a good friend.
So that's where he's at. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, I don't know. I hope that John Wall goes off in Houston because I feel like he needed to get out of Washington. Like he needed to get out of there. Same thing for Bradley Beal. Free Bradley Beal. He needs to get out of Washington sometime soon. Hopefully in like a year or two we can scoop him up. But I don't really see a place where James Harden stays in Houston long term. So I mean, they're not gonna do nothing this year. So like that move is not nothing for them to. It's not no chip move. It's really just to help the chemistry, I guess, or whatever. But it's really not nothing, bro. To be honest, it's not nothing.
All right, so the simple every time there's a trade, there's always a simple question asked, and there's always who won the trade. Is there an answer to this?
Nah, it's like it's just neutral, bro. It's really nothing, honestly. Like Houston didn't get any better or worse. Washington didn't get any better or worse. They're probably not even gonna make the playoffs. So it's like it's just whatever. Houston might have got a little bit of better, but it's not enough because they still got to get past us, and we got 10 times better. So you know what I'm saying? Like I don't see it. And James Harden's heart is not in the team. It's not in there, bro. I'm telling you, bro. It's pretty much just a waste of time. Like it might as well have kept Westbrook, to be honest.
I still never got the understanding of why James Harden requested a trade to begin with. Hopefully, we find that out come interviews and things of that.
My theory is it has a lot to do with the ownership, and apparently I heard recently that like the owner is like a supporter of Trump or something like that. So maybe he just doesn't feel comfortable playing there or whatever, which is some whack sauce because it's basketball at the end of the day. You're turning down $50 million a year and all that. I mean, it just don't make no sense to me because anywhere you go, these owners are going to have these opinions that you probably don't agree with, but
they're billionaires. They're in a different tax bracket.
I don't get these guys, but he hangs out with Meek Mill and them, so I'm sure they're in his ear crazy. And I mean, he's over here dropping bags on Lil Baby, bro. So that shows where his head at.
I'm not gonna lie though. When Baby has a bar including that, because he already had, I'll be with James Harden in Houston in the mix, whatever the case may be.
No, the next bar gonna be crazy.
That's what I'm saying, bro. James Harden out here acting like a thot for Lil Baby.
That's what I'm saying, bro. It seems like some real wax sauce. I'm not gonna say too much because I respect James Harden on the basketball level. I don't know him. I don't know how he is personally. Like I don't know how his character is, but it's showing a lot. I'm not gonna lie. Like business wise, as to why he would want out of Houston, it don't really make sense to me. That seems like a Meek Mill move to me, to be honest.
Man, I don't know. Who wins this trade?
Wasn't Meek Mill trying to recruit him to the Sixers?
Yeah,
too?
yeah. And I get that. I would get if James Harden just wants out to go to another contender, like a real contending team. I would get
what
that.
it is, though, bro, because he could easily make Houston a contender by saying, I want this player, and they will try to make it happen. But he wants out completely. He's turning down extensions. He's doing all this. Bro, he just wants out. His heart is not going to be in that team, and it's going to reflect on the season and his performance.
He's going to be real sick, man. If he stays there for the rest of his contract and then goes to another team and still don't win, it's not the team that – I don't know if they'll have money at the time.
I don't think he cares about winning. You don't care about winning.
But that's fine. If you don't care about winning, at least take the $400 that you were offered, $400 million you were offered.
He's on some weirdo type time, bro.
So it's going to be interesting. I don't know if they got better or they got worse. Do Washington Wizards even matter if they got better or worse?
No, they don't.
They don't have enough pieces around them. They got Beal, which is he can be the best player on a team. With Westbrook, maybe that's a good fit. I'm not too sure. That's a lot of spacing.
My son Beal laying on the floor like Nate Robinson right now.
Yeah, in tears though. he's gonna be conscious. He's just gonna be in tears. But yeah, so that's gonna sting. And also for our organization, Wizards literally double backed and said we're not looking to trade John Wall, and then 2 weeks later trade John Wall. How does that make a Bradley Beal feel? Knowing that the organization's
anyway, bro. He's not saying that anyway. Like, it seemed like a big deal at the moment, but now it's just like it's really whatever because Houston wasn't doing nothing, Wizards are not doing nothing. It was pretty much to just make Westbrook happy, get out of here. You want out, just get out. All right.
But honestly, I see Houston, and they're not a bad team. They're really not a bad team.
We're a bad roster, bro. But what are they gonna do? They're gonna beat us?
I'm not saying they can beat us, but they might be able to. They always have a way to make some noise.
No, they went to Game 7 with Dort. I'm not hearing it, bro. Come on now. We're not gonna overrate this team like that. And then James Harden, he was actually competing for something last year. Now he don't even care, bro. He don't care. His heart is out of it. So it just makes him worse. I'm telling you.
I don't know. We got John Wall and Boogie, and they were Kentucky teammates. If we see Boogie play at 85%, 75% of the level he once was, average 17 points a game, something that he might be more than capable of doing. John Wall gives you a 20-piece. James Harden gives you a 30-piece. Christian Wood, who I like as a very good option. They still got PJ Tucker, who's going to give that defensive energy. Daniel House is the greatest player of all time. So they might.
House, you're right.
They might be all right, man. I'll see. I have to see exactly what type of energy they're bringing coming into the season because they might not give a damn, or James Harden might not give a damn, but everybody else cares. So
yeah, I mean, we'll see, but we're in their conference, so good luck.
Good luck indeed, man. Good luck indeed. And with that being said, I think luck is going to be needed because the season is starting real soon. Oh, I just got a thing. Oh, well, this was already announced. League has suspended random marijuana testing for the 2021 season, though testing with cause continues. Okay, so they still got that. I don't know why teams still even do this or leagues still even do this. Yes. But at this point, it should be ignored. But yeah. Dion might have screwed that up for everybody. But I think that's just about everything on my list, man. We covered, the extension talks, the signing talks, the Kuzma talks, the media day, some of the comments that were made, the Rockets and Westbrook and all that good stuff. Next time you see us, unless any more news breaks, we will be talking about some of the unanswered questions going into the 2020-2021 season. And when's the first game? Is it? It might be very soon. Not for like a week. No, I'm saying the first preseason game. I want to say it's like the 14th.
They're doing preseason for real?
Yeah, they got 4 games. We're literally facing the Clippers, I think, 3 times, and then the Warriors 1 time.
Why are they facing preseason?
Because they don't want any team to travel too far. What happened?
Give us the Kings, something like that.
Right? Give the Clippers the Suns. Give us the Kings. I don't know. They could have. I get what the intention is. I can't wait to see the schedule. I think it's coming out today, so we'll probably have to talk about that next episode. But yeah, we'll talk about that when that day comes. For now, is that everything we had to say for today, Matt? You good?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right. So with that being said, guys, as always, thank you for watching. But hey, if I don't see you, have a good afternoon, good evening, and good night. 18 is on the way. Just saying.
Karma gon' come. Hope I'm ready when she do. All the good die way too young. Hope I ain't good enough for you. If I ever get caught up, hope it ain't shit left I could prove. Cause I'm only 21, ain't got shit left I could